Hello, my name is Carrie Jackson. I am the founder of Pardon Me. I want to thank everyone for their support thus far, whether you've connected to the actual blog and subscribed, which is www.pardonme.com, or you've connected with me on several social media sites, which include Facebook, of course, Instagram, and Twitter, and YouTube. Um, or if this is your first time, you're just strolling through because you want to hear about my business. uh, welcome. I hope you stay around because there's some good things in store for part of me. I promise. I have not been active. I haven't. This will be my second post. But I promise going forward, I will be very much more active. I'm going to do this video probably in two parts because I don't want it to get so long that it gets boring and dry. I want you to actually get the message because it's so serious and I'm very passionate about this issue that I'm going to be vlogging about. So let's just get right into it. So I haven't been active for a couple reasons, and one of the main reasons is because I've actually been sick. So, I had no idea that I was sick. I know I hadn't been feeling well for a while. I mean, I can really go back to years, but the symptoms were so vague and they could be contributed to so many issues, so many things, just random life changes. So I really didn't know that I was actually dealing with something that would eventually caused me to have surgery. See the scar? So, what I'm talking about tonight is called hyperparathyroidism. So, not to be confused with hypothyroid, it's totally separate. Parathyroids are four rice-like glands that we have in our bodies, and sometimes people have them like in their chest. They could be, some various other places, but most times they're right here, right by your thyroid. So that's what para means by thyroid. So they got real creative. um, and so it's something that, of course, is not talked about often because supposedly once you do research, they'll tell you it's not as prevalent. They say it's kind of rare, but for me, rare is me being the only person in my entire office building that's dealing with this. But when I start speaking to people and I'm getting like 3 or 4 other people that have the same issue, or when I post about it on Facebook and I get 5, 6, 7 DMs and on Instagram and a bunch of messages on Facebook saying, oh my gosh, I've been dealing with this issue. I've been Googling and trying to research myself. Then I don't really think it's rare. I think it's a lack of education on the doctor side, maybe. Something that's not caught as quickly and as often as it should and could be. But yeah, they say it's rare. It's usually the demographics for this disease is normally 50 and up, female. Males get it just as much, really. But those are the demographics. As you can tell, I'm not 50, not yet, but I do pray to be around for 50 plus. But yeah, I'm not 50. I am female, and the way I found out that I had this issue was really interesting because something happened to me that really had nothing to do with the parathyroid. It was really God's way of getting me into my doctor's office. Because although I'm an advocate for getting all of your yearly exams for everything, and I go to the doctor regularly, I had been kind of slowful about going to the doctor because I had just had my son a year ago from the time when I started experiencing symptoms. And my thought process was clearly I'm okay because when you're pregnant, they take blood from you like every 30 minutes. Uh, so I'm like, surely if something was wrong, I would know. That was my rationale, my logic. And so, although I had been feeling like really fatigued, I had been having a lot of aches and pains. I just felt like it was just motherhood. Maybe my body just trying to get back to its normal state. My second baby, my second pregnancy, and I was older than my first, in my 30s. So maybe that's it. So I kind of just pushed it off until one day I was on my way to the gym and I did a deep stretch. And it was so deep. Oh, it was so good. But it almost passed. Boy, I almost passed out from it. It took me out, y'all. Like, I seriously cut off all circulation because I stretched so hard. So when I came to, I felt this like warm sensation over my body, and I was like, okay, that's not normal. I've never felt that before. I'm going to the hospital. So I did. There's a couple of hospitals you should never go to in Tampa Bay area. I'm just saying. And I went to one of those. I'm not even going to say which one. But I will say that they took my blood work. They saw all those H's, those highs on their blood work, just like I saw them the next day. But they sent me home. Told me I was just fine. It was like, oh, you're good. You just need to get some rest. Gave me some fluids. And I wasn't even dehydrated. Anyway, I digress. So yeah, they sent me home. So I still wasn't feeling like good. Because I'm the type of person where I need to know. Like, you can't just tell me anything. I need to know. And when you tell me, there's this like calm feeling. Like there's this peace that I need to come over me when you tell me something. And I was not feeling at peace. So went to work the next day. And I decided to make an appointment with my doctor. In the process of me doing this, I went to the patient portal on the hospital's website because I wanted to see my blood work. I'm so glad I did that, but then it scared the heck out of me, y'all, because clearly I saw all those highs, and I swear it's like I couldn't breathe. Like I just really couldn't breathe. I was like, oh my gosh, like this is not. H's and L's are never good. Like highs and lows. I like my stuff to be like in the middle, like it's supposed to be. You know what I mean? So I'm like, oh my gosh, something's wrong with me. Okay. Anybody who knows me, my whole family, they call me Little PI because I will get to some business. You hear me? I will get to the bottom of it. I promise you I will. Like, they say I'm private eye. I just call it self-educating. Like, I need to be educated on certain affairs, all if possible. So anyway, when it comes to me, there's God and then there's Google. Those are my two G's. Like, we hold it down. So I started Googling. They tell anybody in the medical field tell you like probably one of the worst things you could do, but that's what I do about everything. I mean, you could be talking to me and I'm listening to your conversation and you say something that I don't know or you don't know. I already have my phone out and Google. I think someone said that's like a Virgo trait. I read it somewhere, social media, they come up with all these like foo-foo stuff. I'm a Virgo. I accept that. I said, well, I'm gonna take that. I can't help it. I'm a Virgo. It's just in my trait, in my sign. But I Googled, and of course, the first thing that came up was cancer. And so, all jokes aside, I freaked out. Like, I was so scared because all of the symptoms that I was reading about this particular cancer, multiple myeloma, which is incurable, they spoke to pretty much every symptom I was feeling. And at this point, I really did feel like that may have been a legit diagnosis because I felt like I was dying. Like, I felt like I was leaving here daily. I have never felt like this in my life. And I'm a fighter. Like, I thank God for my parents. I thank God for what they instilled in myself and my siblings because I fight. Like, there's nothing I've ever gotten easy in life, contrary to a lot of people's belief. And so everything I've received and obtained, like God has put me in a position to have to really fight for it. And I never really understood it, but it makes me appreciate things so much more. And so I've been fighting for years. A lady at my job said, well, She asked me the other day, how are you feeling? Do you think it's mental that you're feeling better? I said, no, no, love. What I've been doing for years is mentally making my body do stuff that it physically did not want to do and could not do. Now I'm able to physically do the normal things that I'm accustomed to doing. So, yeah, I thought it was cancer, and I was so frightened. Man, I prayed. I was fearful. It consumed me. All I thought about was like death, honestly. And reading all these stories, it was bad. So I I went to my doctor the next day. She did her own blood work. She called me and she said, "Okay, your calcium is a little high, but it's not too bad. Um, my proteins was high too at the hospital, which was one of the reasons why I was like, okay, it's probably is cancer because proteins and calcium being high is really never a good thing. You know, your proteins can be high for different reasons, but you can Google that. It gets a little deep. But either way, I went to the doctor. She told me that we could just wait for 6 months and retest it. But by this time, I had already Googled my life away at this point, and I have read up on a couple things, multiple myeloma being one, and then hyperparathyroidism being another. I came across a website, parathyroid.com, which is a website by Dr. Norman, who's like a parathyroid guru. Um, and I'm reading the symptoms, and I mean, it even went down to depression. And like, I had been depressed, not in recent times, but I had gone through depression in college. And yeah, I had a lot to be depressed about, but I was feeling like I was trying to get there again. And I really, like, life isn't great all the time, but it's not that rough to be depressed. So I knew something was wrong. I was very attitudinal, moody. Oh my gosh. And like, normally I would like to think I'm a pretty happy person. I'm animated, I'm fun, I'm very, very, very much a character. And those things were no more. Like, I would go to work and keep my door pretty much closed because I was trying to save everyone from not leaving from leaving work without a head or an arm because I was just biting people and spitting out like, who next? Who next? Like, who won it? So yeah, and then the physical um symptoms was all there. Um the headaches. Oh, I started having really bad headaches. The bone pains, the muscle pains, the the brain fogs started getting worse, and I actually it stopped. It went from brain fogs to not being able to think of stuff to memory loss. Like, I was having a hard time remembering directions, like home, for instance. It got that bad. Um, I had hair loss. My hair was thinning up top a little bit, and which is why I cut it off. I cut like a little fro. It was cute. Then I did like a mohawk, which was really cute too. I like to change my hair, so that kind of worked out a little bit. But you like to change your stuff under your own, on your own free will, not because something's making you. Then it doesn't become so fun anymore. But I made the best of it. But I had high blood pressure. Oh, twitches and spasms like galore everywhere, my fingers, and I still get them sometimes. As the doctor said, 6 months. Give myself 6 months. My face, my skin, my body, my skin had gotten so dark in most areas. And like, as you can see now, it's still my skin is better, but I'm having like bumps and stuff. They're going away because I'm not like really, like, I don't have acne issues. But these are actually like calcium bumps. This is a calcium bump. But anyway, yeah, it just was bad. And I didn't know what it was. And so my doctor said, okay, well, if you don't want to wait, I can send you to endocrinologist. And without hesitation, I said, I'll go to endocrinologist. And so that's what I did. I went to an endocrinologist, and thus the journey began. So I think this would be a good place to stop. So you can, kind of wonder what happened from there, because it was interesting. Like I said, this process was a year, and it was a year because I stayed on them. So stay tuned for part 2.